Alright, what up guys, Andre and Crosspower, it's Mark here, and today is Tuesday the 11th, and it's a nice afternoon here. The sun is out, and as you can look around, we're in downtown now. There's a few more people out on the street today, but still relatively quiet. So yesterday the 10th was supposed to be the day that everybody was going to come back to work. But a few things have changed from then, so we're going to talk about that today. So let's first check the scoreboard. Team China 4,056 versus 1,017 to the coronavirus. This marks an interesting number because it's just hit 1,000. So and the total is 42,747, so that's still going up 2,487 from yesterday. They didn't say you cannot go back to work, but there's a lot of different conditions about going back to work. So today there's a few more people in the street, but actually a lot of people are still off. So from yesterday, the 10th was supposed to be going back to work. So as you know that from before, the official holidays finished on the 29th, I think, or something, 30th. Then they extended for a couple days. Then they extended it for till the 7th or to the 10th. And now a lot of places they're still extending it again. Some places are starting to work again, but they're actually working from home. The government has put out a notice, and this is what it says. So companies must apply to their local government for permission to open. This application process will take a few days and often require a complete list of employees to begin working and employee travel history. So you need to actually apply to the government for permission first before you can open. Companies also need to provide like a contingency plan for operations. So number 3, companies should also adopt effective measures to prevent the spread of the coronavirus and ensure the safety precautions are in place before resuming operations. And then number 4 is basically employees who have traveled can be subject to quarantine requirements. So they said at least 14 days. So basically they want to know your travel history, and they're saying you may be quarantined. I'm not sure, I don't know any places where they're actually quarantining people in Shanghai yet, but it's definitely stepped up a lot now. So like every building they're doing like the temperature check, and you have to actually register at any building that you go into. You need to sign a paper, and then you also need to provide, if you've been traveling anywhere, you need to tell them about that. So it's definitely getting more stricter. A lot of people don't know what is happening next. The government has made the push to eliminate or to fight against the virus is like the #1 priority. So I don't know, like there was comments of a lot of people thinking that the government didn't do enough or they acted too slow. This is like mass movement attack on the virus now, like pretty much locking down the city, tracking everybody's movements, testing everybody. Because everything else is on a standstill now, every other government department has been reallocated to focus primarily on prevention and spread of this disease. So it's pretty much nothing else is going on except anything that you want to do now within the system now basically is on a standstill. People are just waiting for the okay. Some guy been stuck in the house for a while. They don't know what's going on. I don't see, some guy was more panicking before, but maybe in the other cities. I think in Shanghai itself is actually still relatively calm. Obviously planning to see what's the next step, but actually you can't really plan what you're going to do. Like, okay, your company, or you cannot pay your rent, or a lot of places they say they're closing down. They can't even make it to the end of the month. February and March for sure. Like most people would think at least to the March and April, where the virus would still be around as the weather warms up. I cannot believe that it's still spreading so greatly when everything is completely locked down. This is another thing where people said that, oh, the numbers are bigger than they are. Maybe they are. Maybe the numbers are bigger than they are, and it is more serious than they say. But if so, there's still obviously overseas that didn't really spread so much, and because everything is on lockdown, I think it's actually still relatively safe. It's safe for you not to catch the virus, that's for sure. I think it's the chance of catching the virus, at least in Shanghai, I think it's still is pretty low. But the chance of your business getting affected by the virus, and the chance that you cannot pay the rent, and the chance that you're going to lose a lot of money in this time, that chance is very, very high, and a lot of people already suffering. But there's another notice that the government just put out, which is also promising as well, which basically states rules of reducing and exempting the housing rent of small and medium-sized enterprises of this city. For eligible SMEs, the 2-month rent for February and March will be waived by the state-owned enterprise that own the real estate. So basically they're saying that any government-owned buildings, they are going to deduct the rent. They're cutting the rent out for February and March, to trying to absorb the cost. This is actually for government or state-owned enterprise, but there's people already said that this maybe goes down to private business as well. Let's see how that goes. If they can waive some of the rent and absorb some of the cost to help people, that's actually really good. So I think the government is really, and pretty much everybody is in the spirit of like just fighting this thing. A lot of the factories, a lot of their employees come from lots of different places around the country, so it's very dangerous just to bring all the people back again to the factory, and because that's actually, factories are where a lot of people are in a closed environment from different places, so there's a very high chance of catching or spreading the virus. So factories are still shut down as well. Some factories are coming back to work. Some of the factories have started again, but as I know of, a majority of the factories still haven't started. So we're going to see in the next couple of days, because in the next couple of weeks the effect for sure is going to start trickling to the rest of the world, because obviously everything is made in China, or most things are made in China, and because of this issue now, the production is slowed, and well, pretty much to nearly a dead stop, and then logistics is stopped as well. So no one really knows how big this effect is going to be and how long it's going to take, so we're just going to have to wait and see.